Welcome to Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It is great to have you with us. I'm here with the Word of Jim.
Just as a general remedy for whatever ails you, say, for example, there was something bad that happened to you Tuesday night. The best cure on Wednesday, it turns out, was to go see Guar again.
Two Guars. Guar was
18,
here, right? Weren't they here?
18 times I've seen Guar.
18. All right, we're also here with Dynamite Droppin', Mr. Mike. Great. Dead air is my favorite. We're also, I like to say nothing. We're also here with Mr. Megastar Mark.
I just want to say having a game going on while we're recording this makes me feel awkward. I don't like this.
Yeah, it's weird. What's the score now?
7-7.
Tied up. Bengals and Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Their crappy logo. Give us something on the logo.
Go Baltimore Philistillers.
It is.
It's the fighting Phyllises.
Also, okay, Ravens, whatever. This is a horrible uniform. I will give them credit, though. At least they're not like the Texans, who are the Oregon Ducks of the NFL now and have 9 different uniform combinations that they trot out every week. They look different. What's with that? They were in all reds this week. Come on.
They're the only football team that has a City Connect jersey.
Yeah, seriously.
I know their jerseys are good. All the Texans jerseys are bad.
This red one's horrible. This new one they're cracking out. But anyway,
maybe that's got something to do with their losing streak. On the show tonight, we've got a big Stripe Spiral. We've got our segments. We've got some updates in our categories. We've got some trades. The trade deadline happened. But first things first, the A block, the O block, the Orton line is here.
We're going there first, huh?
Lead story.
Don't bury the lead. It's the top. It's the A block. Orton line. The Orton line, if you will. Drew, will you please explain the Orton line one more time?
So the Orton line was born of the concept, would your team right now today rather have Kyle Orton than your present starter?
The retired quarterback.
Yes. And in his prime is assumed. Because Kyle Orton, I think if you look it up, has a perfect 500 winning percentage as a starter. He's the most average starting quarterback in history. So that's how the Orton line began. It's become a little more generalized than that over time. There are multiple criteria that go into the decision making, but that's the basis of the Orton line. If you are above the line, you are believed to be safe from a quarterbacking standpoint. If you are below the line, it is believed that your team is at least contemplating replacing you.
This all looks fine. We can move on, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, anyway, Ryan, what's next?
With notable exception, as you look below the line, because the Orton line is always contemporary to the moment. This is why the Orton line is not necessarily fair to rookies. Like Denver's not looking to replace Bo Nix, but if they had to win one game right now, they might replace him with Kyle Orton.
All right.
Okay, let's start with
something.
Mike's not doing well. For people who don't have the video, Mike's not doing well. All right, I want to say the top 4 I feel very strongly about. You could argue in what order, but I feel like the top 4 are set.
Yes,
I feel like there's no debate there.
We debated the order. We debated the order of the top 4 for a while.
All right, so let's get it.
Ultimately, there was a general consensus that after 4, there is a drop off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Lamar number 1, Josh Allen 2, Mahomes 3, Burrow 4.
And once again, this is as it stands today, and I feel like that's important to know because Mahomes not having a normal season for him.
No, he's not.
You know,
He's having a statistical worst season despite being undefeated.
Right. Which is why I would put Jackson and Allen, who are having respectively their best seasons of their careers right now. I think you got to put them ahead of them.
Yes.
Obviously, Mahomes, overall is probably still number one if I'm taking a full body of work. Is number one if I'm taking a full body of work. But right now, 3. And I think Burrow 4 is he's shown that he's back from the injury. Even in this game going on right now as we record this, he's already looking very good.
Yeah, just as I look at the list, it didn't occur to me at the time, given the quarterback era we just came out of, is Mahomes the only active multiple Super Bowl winner?
Yeah, I think
Gotta
so.
be, right? Who else would be?
I think he is.
I mean, the Colts
The
can
only
win
other-
one, and Flacco can win two. You don't know.
Stafford has one.
Stafford
Right?
has one.
Jalen doesn't have any. Jalen Hurts doesn't have any.
Rodgers has one.
Rodgers has one. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they the only two still remaining who have won?
Yeah, because Nick Foles is out of the league.
Mm-hmm.
He was barely in it.
Flacco. Sorry. Flacco won one.
Yeah, Flacco's got the one.
I'll say the Colts can still win it this year.
Flacco's still around.
Yeah.
So that was the top 4.
Yeah, I think the top 4 is fine. No
Great.
qualms there.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where we get some qualms.
Ryan just overflowing with qualms right now.
Listen, we were very generous considering that a year ago at this time we only had 11 quarterbacks above the line. The
That's
number
true.
we have now speaks to our magnanimity.
I do
It
want to point
does.
out that after 4, I screamed line.
Yes, you did.
That's where I want the line.
That's
There's a definite line. We are now in the B tier. And
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the farther this goes, by the time you get to like 10, 11, we wanted to talk about anything but continuing to do this.
Yeah, right.
There was a whole conversation about Glenn Foley at one point.
Yes, there was. Yes.
Okay. Jordan Love, 5. CJ Stroud, 6. Jalen Hurts, 7. Jared Goff, 8. Jaden Daniels, 9.
That's right, baby.
Baker Mayfield, 10. That's the next 5.
And credit to
6.
Baker Mayfield, one of the few people who played himself back above the line based
Yeah,
on where
right,
his
he
career
did.
was a
That
couple
is
of years
hard to
ago.
do. Drew
Yeah.
always compiles a list so you can go back and look at the line in previous years, and it is very rare to fall below the line and come back up. So
Yep.
that is
And
something.
Baker's, at least going into the line, Baker was leading the league in touchdown passes with his
Yeah,
2 top
right.
wide receivers out. Not nothing.
That's true. That's true. Any qualms here before we get to the next qualm?
Yes. I have
Go
to-
ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going to try to do this with using as little profanity as possible.
Wow. Okay.
But in what fucking universe are you going to take Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert before you take Brock Purdy? The man played in a goddamn Super Bowl. Most of these guys couldn't smell a playoff win if it bit him in the ass. Jordan, CJ Stroud, Jalen Hurts, really?
I'm unmoved. You're telling me if the Niners offered you CJ Stroud for Brock Purdy today, you'd turn them down.
Correct.
That's bullshit, and you know
Why?
it.
Why? Why would I take CJ Stroud? What has he shown me?
He's turned the Texans around. The Texans have been a moribund franchise for their entire existence, and he turns them into a playoff team.
They play in a shit division. Who have they played that's any good?
How well has Brock played missing all of his weapons?
Better than most.
Not better than the ones above him.
Bullshit.
Baker's missing his top 2 wide receivers and leading the league in touchdown passes.
Ridiculous.
How much are you going to pay him?
Whatever we need to. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care.
All right. Here we go. All right.
Brock's above Tua. If that has any consolation.
Let's Justin Herbert is above Brock, and then it's Tua, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold. And we'll get to Sam in a second. But let's so how high does Brock Purdy need to be? He needs to be 5 in your what would make you happy, Mike?
I don't think it needs to be 5.
Okay.
I mean, Jordan Love is terrifying and good, but again, Brock Purdy has played in a Super Bowl.
So is Jalen Hurts, though. You said Jalen Hurts.
And so has Jared Goff.
And so is Jared Goff.
Correct, but Jared Goff could score 6 points in that game.
That's true.
Brock Purdy played pretty well in the Super Bowl. It's not his fault that Kyle Shanahan's defenses can't hold a fucking lead. Like, he can't play both sides of the ball.
Not yet.
He beat Jordan Love.
He did on one-on-one beat Jordan Love.
He beat Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
So he's beaten both of them in playoff and NFC title games.
And your argument is Stroud is too new, and Jaden Daniels is a rookie.
Okay, here's who the
Shut
here's
your
who the
whore
Texans-
mouth about Jaden Daniels.
Here's who the Texans have beat this year: the Colts, the Bears, the Jags. They did have a win against the Bills. That's a quality win. They beat the Patriots. They lost to the Packers. They beat the Colts, who are not great, and they lost to the fucking Jets.
They did just lose to the Jets.
Come on. Like, that is not an impressive body of work this season. He has now. Are you talking in terms of pure athletic talent? I think CJ Stroud has more athletic talent than Brock Purdy. But if you're telling me right now, if I have to pick between them for a game, I'm taking Purdy.
So hold on. So let me ask this in the inverse. If you're let's say for a second that you're the Niners,
Okay.
and Houston comes to you and says, "Do you want to trade CJ Stroud for Brock Purdy?" You would say no.
I would.
Let's say you're the Texans and the Niners come to you and say, "We'll give you Brock Purdy for CJ Stroud."
I would
There's not a chance in a million years you say yes to that deal.
I don't think either one trades for the other one, because I think there is part of it's a system thing. Like, it's not.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's a system quarterback.
You shut your mouth when you talk to me.
You said it yourself.
No, I
And
didn't.
it's part of the Shanahan genius.
He is no longer a system quarterback. He is proven that this year.
Oh, I want to go to the tape so bad now.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't believe that those guys are ahead of him. If I have to take somebody for a game, look, and I like Jaden Daniels a lot. I think he's got a lot of raw talent. But again, he has played 6 games. We're really taking somebody 6 games. And again, let's take a look and see who Washington played. I'm guessing not great either. Let's see, who have the Washington Marks played?
The Washington Marks.
Okay. Ooh, they beat the Giants. Ooh, they beat the Browns. Oh, they beat the Panthers and the Bears and the Giants again. They've played. Their 2 losses are Ravens and Buccaneers. They've beaten the Browns and the Bengals. Like, again, they're having a good year and he's looking good, but the 2 teams they played that are remotely decent, they lost both games.
And Brock Purdy lost to the Rams and the Cardinals. What's your point?
Completely decimated by injuries.
Let's see.
Washington didn't have that problem.
You beat the Jets. Good for
did
you. You beat the Patriots. You beat the Seahawks and the Cowboys.
No, but here's the problem. You're looking at this purely from the perspective of the last 6 games.
That's exactly what you just did.
Let me finish.
Listen, let me go back 2 minutes on the tape and say Jaden Daniels has only played 6 games.
Correct. Which means you can't have a body work to say he's better
than both ends of this.
Yes, you can. Let me finish. Jaden Daniels has played 6 total games in the NFL. You're telling me that after watching 6 total games, you're going to look at him and go, I want him over a guy who was literally the starter in the Super Bowl last year.
100%. 100%. 100%.
Wow.
He's way more athletic. He's way more dynamic. He has way more arm talent. Take that Niners defense away from Brock Purdy. Do they go to the Super Bowl?
They're not going this year, I don't think.
Crappy defense anyway.
Take the weapons away from him. Do they go to the Super Bowl? He doesn't intrinsically make the Niners better.
I disagree.
He doesn't turn the ball over. I give him that. He's efficient.
He's the most accurate passer in the league.
So was Geno Smith once upon a time.
Who wins more
And Chad
games?
Pennington.
If CJ Stroud played for the Niners or if Brock Purdy played for the Texans? Let's say they don't trade. Let's say we're just reversing things. They just fantasy draft. We just switch spots. Who wins more games on which team reversed? Do you think
Niners become unstoppable?
Wow.
Niners become unstoppable. Because you know what Purdy doesn't do? Taking away everything else. You know what Purdy doesn't do? He doesn't run. CJ Stroud adds an entirely new dimension to them.
He's not the most mobile. He's
more
a little
mobile than Purdy.
He's more mobile.
He's
Purdy's
not
been running around
not
though.
a scrambler like Jalen Hurts, but he's more mobile than Purdy.
Very interesting. Very interesting. He knew this was going to cause some controversy because the Orton line always does. Kyle, you sneaky son of a bitch. He has no idea that this is this
Not a
exists
clue.
with his name, and I
Not
wish
a
he
clue.
did. Wouldn't that be great? All right. So our biggest one is Brock Purdy so far. Brock should be higher, according to Mike. Mark, you haven't said much. You're part of the putting together this list.
Mark's part of the conclave.
He's been pretty quiet here. You put your guy Jaden Daniels over him.
The list is what it is. So,
Well done.
You sound like a coach after a loss. It is what it is.
I didn't get everything I wanted in the list, but I got
what I wanted. Some things.
The two things that I really wanted: Jaden Daniels high and Trevor Lawrence low. I got so.
Wow. All right. So Brock is a question mark at 12. Tua, Kyler, Kirk.
So we had a good conversation about Tua. Like, it actually really kind of heartfelt conversation about Tua, about how he lost a lot of goodwill by coming back. You know, like when he got hurt, I think everybody was on his side, and everybody said, you know what, if you're gonna just take a step back, you got 2 kids now, you got your $90 million contracts. Nobody, even like the most cynical Dolphin fan, I think Drew, you mentioned that, nobody would give him shit about like stepping away.
If he walked away
back, and then he started like yelling at the fans, and he starts like missing these passes that go over his head, and then blaming people for like thinking it's easy. And I don't want to put it like this, but like he is acting a little different, and I don't know. You hate to speculate that like a CTE could be involved already, but I mean, look how quickly Antonio Brown turned, with all those concussions. So I don't know. Tua, I think, could be even lower on this list after the season's done.
He might move down because they're not making the playoffs. He lost again.
Yeah,
he lost again. Darnold. How about Sam Darnold? Below the line, now above the line again.
Kind of the shock. Kind of the shock of the whole thing.
Actually, I think he was off the list last year. I don't think he was on the list last year.
No, because he wasn't starting anywhere. He wasn't intended to start this year.
Didn't we? What was it? So the person above the line is always known as the keeper of the line, but wasn't it also the Knight of Orton for a while?
Alex Smith is the only anointed Knight of Orton.
Yes, because Alex Smith perpetually lived.
He was literally
right at the line.
above the line for like 4 years.
Yeah, right.
I will admit, when I first opened this document and he said the white smoke has appeared, and I opened the document, the first name that I saw in my brain was Jay Cutler's. And I go, those sons of bitches, they put Jay Cutler on here. I realized it was like the 2010 line.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I've got to scroll down. I thought that was a very funny joke at first. Jay Cutler. Would you take Jay Cutler after his DWI arrest, or would you take Trevor Lawrence? All right, that means the Orton line delineates the bottom.
Literally divided in half this year. First time
it is truly half. We start with Trevor Lawrence. I'm glad Trevor Lawrence is below the line. I've been banging this drum all year that he's not good. He's below the line.
I don't think anybody can argue that right now. I mean, it's
of the non-rookies below the line, though, I will say he has the best chance to play himself back above it.
Yeah, he does. But like, I don't know, man. Like, he was surrounded by pretty decent talent and on both sides of the ball, and like the Jaguars just imploded. He cannot win a game if you're down.
I just don't think the Jaguars can ever stop stepping on their own dicks. I
think
he might be one of those guys who, if you gave him a change of scenery, might do significantly better. I think that franchise is just sort of cursed.
Fair enough. I don't know. I talked about it, and I mentioned this off the air, and during the debate about the Orton line, I did bring this up too. Like, if the Chargers offered the Jaguars right now Justin Herbert, who definitely has his own flaws, for Trevor Lawrence straight up, there's no way the Jaguars say no. And the fact that there's no way the Jaguars say no means he's below the line. Like, you can't just.
Yep.
I think he's properly placed at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of the problem with Trevor Lawrence is he's always going to have the albatross of being the first overall pick.
Yes,
that's fair.
And I don't think it's necessary. Like, that's not his fault where he was drafted. I think he's at this middle of the road with the potential to be an above average quarterback. Like he has the potential to be a couple spots up the line, but he's just not there right now. And I don't think he will be in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the tyranny of high expectations. Like it's not his fault he was the first overall pick.
That's going to be tough, though, because the Jaguars can't move on from him. They just signed him to that deal. Like, you cannot cut your losses here.
They'll keep him around for several more years and fire several more coaches, try to make it work. Is there a coach out there that can make it work? Like, if they got Ben Johnson or something, would that help?
Maybe. I don't know. I think Ben Johnson's a little overrated, but
Mike Holmgren.
Mike Holmgren. He's a good coach. Is he still alive, Mike Holmgren?
I believe he's still with us.
What about Jeff Fisher? Why don't we just bring in Jeff Fisher?
He is the commissioner of the new AFL now. Thank you very much.
Yes, the new AFL to the 20th power.
Yeah.
Okay. Dak is below the line. He's also hurt. He hasn't played that well. I could see him returning above the line maybe next
he
year.
has potential too. Yep.
Caleb Williams has not played very well. He's number 19 on the list.
I think this is Gino's
Room
last
to
time.
grow.
Like, this might be the highest we ever see Gino.
See Gino again. Yeah.
20. This is where it gets a little weird because I think several veterans have been done dirty here. Bo Nix, 21. Drake May, 22. Russell Wilson, 23. Matthew Stafford, 24. He belongs above all these guys, right? He should be over Caleb Williams.
You could debate me on Russ, but he can't. This is where the Orton line gets distorted and doesn't treat rookies accurately.
Because he's such a veteran, I guess.
If you are under the line as a rookie, this is where the Orton line actually kind of inflates your value. Because
I'm seeing what you're saying.
Looking to replace you, whereas Stafford is a known commodity who's just about done.
Right.
Rams would trade Stafford for Caleb Williams right now.
100 times.
Yeah, right.
But that doesn't mean that Caleb is better than Matthew Stafford right now.
Not pound for pound.
Yeah.
No.
He's more valuable and like a trade value index than good. But Stafford's very low on this list. Joe Flacco, 25. He's back. He's on the list now.
He is on the list again.
He wasn't on last year, or no, at the end of the year he was, right?
Yeah, he was because Cleveland. He actually did really well in Cleveland.
Played well for Cleveland.
Yeah. He didn't play horrible. He just kind of played very average. So, I mean, I feel like 25 is about right.
Yeah, this is crazy to me. Will Levis, 26. Why is this guy even on the list? He's benched now. Will Levis on the list. Bryce Young not on the list.
Be happy with Andy Dalton. Come on.
Yeah. These are their most recent starters of record at the time of the list.
Okay. All right. Will Levis is 26. Poor Derek Carr. He's down to 27.
I know.
Once
I feel
again,
so bad for him.
just kind of like I say about Gino,
and he's been bad.
Like I said about Gino, this might be where Derek Carr lives for the rest of his career, around this area.
Andy Dalton, 28. I'm surprised Andy's even on here.
Yeah.
You should just put no Panthers quarterback on here. Just none.
We've done similar things in the past.
We've done similar things in the past.
The Scobly is one of my favorites.
Cam Ward should have been 32. Cam
That's
Ward.
at the end. We might put him in. We did have at one point the 2018 first round quarterback before they got drafted, and we were actually pretty right. I'm just saying 4 out of 5 of those were pretty good.
All right. Gardner Minshew, Drew, your guy. 29.
I want him lower than this.
Yes, I know you did.
The only reason he's not lower than this is because he's cheaper than everybody below him.
Okay. Pucci is 30th. Again, this is a veteran. He's 40 thing because he's better than all these dudes right now.
Is he, though? Have you seen him?
He just won a game, Drew. He threw some passes that had to be
what a high benchmark that is for his career.
Anthony Richardson won a game.
Right.
Richardson not being on this list.
Joe Flacco.
It's funny. He's not on the list. Wow. Dan Jones is 31. That makes sense to me. And Deshaun is 32.
Yep.
And he will be 32 probably for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
The only
thing
he'd always be Jones above Deshaun Watson is the fact that he has not potentially.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Also, Watson still has that contract.
Also,
That's-
listen, if it shapes out for Watson the way it looks like it's gonna, he's not even gonna be the Browns quarterback at the end of the year, so he won't be on the list at all.
I
Right.
just don't know that they can. I don't think they can pull that off.
It'll be Jameis.
Jameis will be finishing the year, but
I don't. You'd have to go back and look. I don't know if Jameis has ever been above the line.
Famous Jameis, baby.
I don't know if he's
I
I
ever
think he
been
had to
above.
have been. Yeah.
Deshaun was on the list last year with
yeah.
Joe Flacco.
Joe
Yeah, that
Flacco,
was the end of the year. That was
Tommy
Yeah.
DeVito,
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell.
Yeah, the end of the year we do kind of like take into consideration
it's
the entire season.
More of a wider season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Bo Nix, we penciled in for the Patriots apparently. Bryce
Oh, yeah.
Young was,
I forgot about
I
that.
forgot about that
23.
one too.
how about Gino being in the exact same spot? Gino 20, Gino 20.
But
kind of fun.
but it looks like he got way worse because the
Yeah.
Orton line moved
Yes.
down.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Stroud. All right. When's the last time Gino started? It was a couple of years ago, right? So let's see.
He's 14 there.
He's 14 on
He's
that
still below
list.
the line.
Still below the line.
Gino
That was the
moved up.
highest the line's
It was-
ever been that
Yeah,
year.
at 11
Back-
was the highest the line has ever been.
Mike fucking White was on the list.
Yeah, you'll
I love Mike
notice
White.
you'll notice that there's a lot of Cleveland and Houston at the very bottom of
Yeah,
the list.
right.
I want to go back and look at that list for a second. Right where you have it, you have Brock Purdy at 18 and Daniel Jones at 14. I demand an apology right now for that. At no point was that ever true. So just stop.
Wow.
Not a sex criminal Jones.
Let's
Derek
see.
Carr.
Oh my! Speaking of Mac Jones, he's going to play this week. Do you see that?
Oh God.
Is he really?
Yeah, because Trevor's hurt.
Oh boy.
Look at that duo, Sam Ellinger and PJ Walker.
Oh,
They will
God.
never appear on this list again.
Neither will Davis Mills.
There's
I don't-
Jameis,
There's
29.
Winston,
Jameis,
29.
29.
There he is.
What year was that? Go
That
back.
was 2020,
Hey, I just saw Drew Lock
21.
sighting.
Yeah, Drew Lock. Yeah.
2021. I'm trying to find any more Jameis sightings. Taysom Hill? He didn't.
Davis Mills too, right at the bottom.
Carson Wentz.
Big Ben was
Yeah.
still in the league then?
Yes,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
that was where that last year we couldn't throw the ball. That's my favorite one right there.
Various first round draft
Various
candidates.
first round candidates. And then,
And then
33
Broncos.
Broncos quarterbacks.
I like how you get QB Broncos on there. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
QB Broncos. Where's Jameis? Is he on this list?
This would be around where Jameis was actually playing.
There's Jameis at 18, below the line.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, below
Yeah.
the line, Tampa Bay. I don't think he was
And
ever above the
And
line.
then there's a gap where we didn't do it for a few years, so he may
Right.
not appear
Yeah.
before that.
Oh God, Brian Hoyer.
Nope, he's above the line here.
Oh, there he is.
15.
15. He's above the line in whatever year this was.
There's Cam Newton.
I don't know what year. It's fall of
2017.
2017. That was the last time he was above the line. Oh, Jameis. He might be back at the end of the year. We'll see. Probably will be, right? It's going to have
Unless
to
he
be
gets
involved in
hurt.
some way.
Unless he gets hurt or Deshaun comes back.
All right, Mike. Any final words on the Orton line?
No.
Mike does not accept its authority over him.
He
No.
does not like it.
I do not recognize the authority of the Orton line in any way, shape, or
Hashtag
form
not my Orton line.
in its current incarnation.
Not my Orton line. All right. We had ourselves some trades. Tell me if you care about any of these. Khalil Davis to the 49ers.
I'll take some pass rush help. It's all
Okay.
fine.
Tre'Davious White to the Ravens.
I love me some Tre'Davious. He's one of my favorite Bills of all time. That man, he had 4 years where it went torn ACL, torn Achilles, torn ACL. Okay, that's 3 years, 2 torn ACLs, and then a broken shoulder. Like he ain't coming back.
I like this trade. Jonathan Mingo traded to the Cowboys.
Yeah, you
which
do.
Watch
Doesn't
out,
matter. But they gave up a 4th round pick for this guy who can't catch.
Amazing.
Mingo's not good. Sorry, Cowboys fans. He's not good. I've been watching him for several years. He can't get on the field on a team with no wide receivers. He was at Ole Miss. He was like the 4th best receiver. 4th round pick. Thank you very much, Cowboys. I don't know why you're doing that.
That's
Makes
a
no
guard.
sense.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we can get somebody.
Yeah,
We
right.
can't draft, but maybe we'll
If
get.
you're the Titans, you could take your 4th offensive lineman with
Yeah.
that 4th round pick.
And watch Killer Greg slowly lose his grip on
It's
reality.
still one of my favorite things is him seeing that before us at the draft. The turn around where he turns around, just like, ugh.
Yeah.
All right. That doesn't really matter either. Khalil Herbert to the Bengals from the Bears. Nah. Preston Smith to the Steelers. Packers training this guy. I don't know why.
That's pretty good. Well, he apparently he didn't like that the Packers ran a 4-3. He felt more comfortable in a 3-4, which fine, I guess. I mean, learn to adapt would be my answer or to him.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. You're a 32-year-old veteran. Like
he just got tired of Romeo Dobbs complaining.
Right.
It's Dobbs that
Just
got him
too much.
really mad about the 3-4 versus the 4-3.
Yeah, right.
They don't like those numbers in that order. The Steelers are busy. They also traded for a disgraced wide receiver, Mike Williams, who Poochie hates. So ship him out.
I don't understand why they thought he had value,
Oh my god.
but
Yeah,
far
you could
big.
cut him. Yeah.
Big. Okay, so we don't care about that. Zadarius Smith from the Browns to the Lions.
Good move.
that feels
All right.
like a good deal.
Yeah.
All right. Can't hurt. They lost Hutchinson, so they need
He's
something.
not close to being as good as Hutch, but he's still
No, not
fine.
even
He's still like
close.
an above average pass rusher. It's better than whoever they had there
Look,
originally.
it's the best option you had really on the
Yeah.
market.
And this is like time to go for it, Lions. Like
Yeah.
this is the year. Like go for it. Go all in, man.
Yeah. Just like the Cowboys, go all in.
I just noticed Mike's new signature there.
Not my Orton line. All right, and the last one was Marshawn Lattimore from the Saints,
Yeah.
traded to the Commanders. He's a very good.
Who? The Marks Commanders. Get it right. Say the full name.
Sorry.
Well, the Washington Marks seem to
Washington
be
Marks.
currently a hot trade destination. Like everybody wants to go play there.
Yeah.
Washington Marks.
Well, they do have the number 9 quarterback in football.
Oh my God.
In your mind,
Oh my God.
Lattimore, excellent move though. I mean,
You
that's
like
a,
this?
that's a
Yeah.
4-time Pro Bowler, All Pro. That's the one point on that defense. You could definitely say that the Commanders needed help as they were getting torn apart in that secondary. So great move for them.
that great veteran help and help balance out a young defense. Like that's a great move.
Yep.
He is expensive. They're gonna have to fix that contract for him to
They
stick
will.
around.
Although, like the Saints are still gonna have to pay him next year.
Yeah.
Like obviously, it's a huge contract for the Commanders as well, and they're gonna have to adjust. But they're still gonna be on the book for like $20 million for this guy next year. Also, the Saints are like $110 million over the cap already next year. What's going on?
They need to get rid of people.
Who are you paying?
This guy was one of them.
Apparently, yeah.
Did not a trade, but did anybody happen to notice very quietly that the Ravens, who have no pass rush to speak of, released Yannick Ngakoue?
I saw
Yeah,
that.
but he's
awful-
coming. He's
How
coming back.
awful
I
must
think.
he have
But
been?
he's on waivers though now because he's released after the trade deadline.
After
which
the trade
means
deadline.
anybody can pick him up, and he has like no contract. He's getting paid like $800,000. Anybody can pick him up. The
Like, that
Panthers
dude-
can pick him up.
that dude was a hot commodity
Yeah.
like a year ago. How
Right.
far has he fallen?
I don't even care. Like he'll never go to fall down to the Bills. But if they did, I would love to have him on the team.
They're gonna try to get him back. I guess. I don't know.
I don't think he's
Then
going to
why
clear
release
waivers.
him?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to clear waivers.
Okay. All right. Those are the trades. Time for the categories. We'll start with Mark's Commanders. We've talked about them a lot.
Woo!
They go to 7-2. They beat the Giants.
In a very efficient game for Jaden Daniels, but that's okay.
They've now swept the Giants.
Hooray! Man,
Congratulations.
Das Bar is kaput.
Maybe this week,
Uh,
Dayball
Erica
is forced to stay in the Das boot.
At least
They just
he'll have
they
good beer.
kill him like Beer Fest. They put him in
Yeah.
a giant beer
I mean,
thing.
that's probably good for him. Like, just
Well,
he fits in well with an Oktoberfest.
Here's the interesting thing: if Ryan's team continues to do what it's done this year, which is get other coaches fired as well, if Daboll loses to the Panthers in Germany, does he not take the plane home?
Maybe
Oh,
not.
man.
Oh boy.
It is the Giants. They tend to
Yeah,
be,
they don't typically
but-
do that, but
they shit canned McAdoo.
yeah, I mean whether he would and whether he should might be two different things.
They also fired that other guy who was whatever his name was, the really bad coach. Who was like the special teams guy for the Patriots that they had. His name now.
Judge. Is that his name?
Joe
Judge.
Judge.
Joe
Didn't they
Judge.
fire him at the end of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Before the year was over, I think, or maybe right after. I forget now. But anyway, Mark's Commanders 7-2,
Looking good.
looking real
Although,
good.
to Mike's credit, Mike did run down that the issue is they are beating crap. Like they're not really running through good teams here. So we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll stick with you, Mark. The Bills beat the Dolphins like they do all the time. They never lose to the Dolphins now. They beat the Dolphins. Josh Allen owns
Some
the Dolphins. God,
Really
so sad. Dolphins are
dislike
so
them.
sad.
yeah.
They were so fun last year, and they're so sad now.
If I had, one complaint I had is the Bills got away from the run game real early and just made Allen do what Allen does,
Allen
and it
stuff.
worked because it's fucking. He just hates the Dolphins with every fiber in his being for some reason. I hopefully would like to see them get back to that run game because it's been working this year, and I don't like abandoning it after like 7 runs. This isn't a Ken Dorsey offense anymore, so stick to that run game. But anyway, other than that, a win is a win. So keep on chugging.
Nice win. Jerry. The Falcons beat the Cowboys. Dak is out for maybe a month or two. He might be done for the year.
Best thing, and I don't know if you have this on the social media on our account, but did you see what the Falcons posted after the game?
No, I don't.
So they won 28-21, something like that, and it just had a picture of this really depressed Cowboys fan in the stands.
Oh, I did see this.
Yeah, and the
So
Falcons
sorry,
were like,
Yankees
"Oh,
fans.
really rough week for Yankee fans out there."
Great troll job. Great
Real
troll job.
good.
Like, well, the smartest thing these guys have ever done is turn their social media over to younger people and just let them run wild. It's great.
Kind of two things happening concurrently in this game, which is one, obviously the Cowboys are hosed now. And two, boy, don't we think Trey Lance is going to get a look here at some point? Because isn't he way better on paper than Cooper Rush?
Yeah, why isn't he coming in? What's the story there?
He will.
Probably. Yeah, he will.
He will.
And also, and if Trey Lance comes alive, God forbid, sorry, Mike, like, what does that do for Dak exactly?
Oh God. Hook that to my veins. I want a Dallas quarterback controversy, please.
And number two,
Bring me the ghost of Quincy Carter.
Yes. Give me a quarterback controversy with a guy who just signed a $281 million contract. I need that so badly, Drew.
That's the most Dallas thing that could happen.
America needs that.
Number two, I don't know if he's like slowly getting healthier or getting acclimated or what, but Kirk is coming around in the past few games.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Falcons firing.
He's looked pretty good.
He has. They're looking like I guess the Bucs could still give him a run, but they look like they're going to run away with that division. So,
I mean, as awful as it is, the Falcons are finally starting to look like we thought they were going to look.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Dennis Green. They are who we thought they were.
Thank you.
What the hell are you doing, Nick? That's this category. The Eagles beat the Jaguars in like the dumbest game ever.
I texted you guys when that happened, and I was so angry. I was red in the face, angry at that call.
Going for 2 all the time, going for it on 4th down when you just could kick and just easily be winning.
When he made that idiot move to go for it on 4th, right? A field goal would have put them up, but they ended up winning. That's not the point.
They won.
They would have literally gone up by 2 scores. Not like this 3 points would have made made it an 8-point game. So it would have put it to 2-score game. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And everyone knows the Jaguars can't come back from a 2-score lead.
100. They can't. They definitely can't.
Just kick it.
Right. Oh my God.
What are you doing? And he had multiple opportunities to do that.
He is going to cost this team. They're going to be one and done in the playoffs because of some stupid ass thing that he's doing. I got a feeling already about that.
If AJ Brown doesn't play, they don't look the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's a miracle they have Saquon Barkley.
Well, and listen, Devontae Smith's been pretty good for them,
Yeah,
too.
he has also been good.
Oh yeah, fucking
Saquon
Saquon
Barkley
hurdling over a motherfucker.
Hurdling backwards.
Spinning and then hurtling backwards over a guy.
Amazing.
That's insane.
Dayball's just staring at
Shane,
the mirror
Shane or
behind
whatever.
the bar.
Yeah, Shane or whatever his stupid name is, Shone or whatever from New York. That is maybe the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
That guy is so dumb.
Ugh.
He's so dumb. Even though, yes, they're not going to be that much better. But my God, this guy's like a cheat code.
Oh, they're all fired. They're all
They
fired.
got to be. They got to be
They're
fired.
all gone. So
Oh, Nick Sirianni. He's going to get fired at some point. He's going to get fired.
should have been last year.
Yep. Credit to the Jets. At least they realized, like, we've got to fire a guy now before it gets even worse. And then it got worse. Sorry, Jets. Okay. What? I mean, this isn't really that weird that the Titans beat the Patriots, but this game was weird
Yeah,
and
it was.
weirdly watchable.
But I'm about to say, really fun. Like,
Yeah.
this was great.
More of an I can actually watch this game.
Yeah. This was
Okay.
good.
Listen, it's I've worked in the business long enough to know that sometimes you can get a really good game out of really bad teams.
Yeah.
Usually when
Energy.
Gus Johnson is play-by-play in 2010s.
God, Gus Johnson.
This game, by the way, like Drake May's kind of growing on me, but like I look at this Patriots team, and it's what I've been saying this entire year. This is the least talented team in the NFL. I mean, it is Drake May's zaniness and nobody else helping this man. Also, this O-line is the worst. He's always
Bad.
running for his life because he has to.
Even on that play to tie the
Yes,
game.
right.
It was a miracle that he got out of like several sacks and then just kind of no look threw it up there and the guy caught it. But then they still lose.
And then they
which is
lost.
hilarious.
Yeah,
They
right.
still lose.
I just hope they don't get Drake May killed because I think there's some potential there.
I do too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did
Yeah.
say that when he first
Yeah.
came in. He gonna die.
Eagle.
Yeah.
He gonna
He's
die.
definitely gonna die.
Okay, moving on to it's back. It's back somewhere. Where is it? There it is.
Caleb's dead. It's gonna be so sad. Hey, Caleb, do you want to come to Chicago? Hope you enjoy getting sacked every time you throw. Here's some life advice you're gonna need to know. Don't drink from the Green River or eat the yellow snow. Good thing you got used to losing there at USC. Chicago loves losers. Just look at the Cubbies. Caleb's dad is gonna be real sad if it's 3 years of saving Eberflus's ass. To be the top pick would be the meanest trick. With that NIL cash, you can't better be a bear.
Okay, the Cardinals beat the Bears.
Chris might have to adjust that song once Eberflus does get fired at the end of this year.
I know we might need an update to Caleb's dad because I think his dad is still going to be sad. He's
Yes.
going to throw it out there.
I told you he's moved on to his second son Billy. He's totally disowned Caleb at this point.
Billy.
Billy.
Oh my God. I really hope that kid's middle name is D. Tell me that the second son is Billy D. Williams. Can we do this? Is there a just and loving God?
Hello. What have we here?
Oh my God. Cardinals
Cardinals-
look like
they're
Look good.
okay. They're not bad. I know
We
it's
knew
Browns,
that
they're
at the start of the
Bears,
year that the Cardinals were
but
okay.
Yeah, they're not bad.
New Call of Duty's out though. Could all go downhill.
Oh man,
yeah, maybe this week.
they're probably
Hey.
keeping it from him. Like they're blocking his social media so he can't find out that it exists. So
They canceled
like-
his PlayStation Plus subscription so he can't
Yeah.
play online or something.
hmm
Can't kill some noobs.
Tone and noobs.
take that, JJ.
Who's talking to you? Kyler?
Dad, Kyler Murray's picking on me again on Madden.
Shut up! I'm watching McConkey.
This is a good one. Shut up.
All right. Well, the Bears lost. The good teams. This is just a bunch of good teams with good records. The Ravens killed the Broncos.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, they did.
We all called that one. I mean, we were talking about how the Broncos,
frauds.
much like what Mike was just saying about the Commanders, about how their schedule was real soft to start the year, and this is like the first real test, and they got destroyed.
Yep. Bo Picks, he's back.
Yeah.
Lions destroyed Drew's Packers.
Yep.
That
I
was a
think the Lions
surprise.
are good.
Yeah, I think so
I
too,
think the
Mike.
Lions are good.
Yeah.
In the rain in
Yeah.
Lambeau on
Right.
the road.
That
It
home field
seems
for
like those
Lambeau.
teams really, really want to play for Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like a cult. I think they're approaching like Jim Jones level of cult up there. Like they have all bought in. They are drinking the Kool-Aid and they are fine with it. It's fun.
Other than
Was he actually a write-in candidate during the election? I thought I saw that somewhere.
Would not
that
be shocked if a large number of Lions fans. wrote
Dan
it.
Campbell was written in several
the only
times.
person not buying in is Jameson Williams, who's just
Yeah.
losing his mind every week. So
Yeah, what did he do this week? Last
he's
week he
finding
got
a
caught
new way
with
to get
guns.
suspended. Yeah.
Jameson. Jordan Love got hurt.
Yeah.
He looked very good in this game.
Here comes Malik Willis.
It's no
Apparently
problem
it's
at
fine.
all.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
hey, good thing Jordan Love is that high on the Orton line.
Goddamn right he is.
Oh. The Brock Purdy saltiness.
When he only plays 3 games this season because of perpetual injury. But yeah, that's
You
fine.
would take him in a heartbeat.
No.
Yes, you would.
Brock we trust, baby.
Brock Purdy. Okay. Chiefs beat the Buccaneers.
Good game.
Eh,
Good game.
yeah, Bucs put up
Baker's
a
still
fight.
playing well.
Mhm.
Overtime.
Yep. Chiefs look
Yeah.
Although
pretty good.
I admit, I was watching that game. It was getting late. I was like, damn, I got to go to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. And I was like, I'll just watch till the end. And it went to overtime, and I was like, Chiefs win. And I just shut it off.
Yep.
Like, I didn't even need to. By the time I actually laid in bed, 8 minutes later, it was already over.
So
Yeah.
that is something too. I think it's because the Bucs don't play the Chiefs very often. When you have a chance to beat the Chiefs,
Go
you
for
take
two.
that fucking chance to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, there was a bunch of weird decisions at the end there. Not the least of which was why would you call the timeout with 30 seconds left?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
well,
you know,
it
you
is
got
Todd Bowles. Anything
I
is
know.
possible.
It's like you got the ball on the 1, score the, let the clock run down, score the play, then go for 2, leave them with 4 seconds on the clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, that part came to nothing, but it was a bunch of weird decisions right in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And then Baker's reaction on the coin flip was priceless.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
that look.
lost.
Yeah.
We've lost it now.
Yep.
The Vikings win over the Colts. Joe Flacco couldn't do it here.
He looked
Vikings still look
fine though. He didn't look like. I mean, for
No, it
he's
didn't look bad.
39. I mean, he looked pretty good for what he was doing.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought the Colts defense played real fucking good against the Vikings.
second half. The Vikings were much better.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They adjusted a little bit, but still.
Okay. So last week, I think I complained about this team, and they have now become my least favorite team besides my own. The Seahawks are so stupid.
Yeah.
They're so stupid.
Mhm.
They lose to the freaking Rams. They somehow by miracle were back in the game to force overtime, which I thought
Yeah.
was basically impossible because how stupid they are. Then they get into overtime and they get the ball. And it's 4th and whatever, and they haven't converted a 4th down since the freaking Nixon administration. And they decide in overtime to not kick a field goal against the Rams, who you could argue you could stop.
Mm-hmm.
They could do something dumb. I don't know. They go for it on 4th down, and they clearly don't even get close. And then the Rams just go down and win.
And win. On a nice ball by Matthew Stafford.
Very nice ball, but
He channeled Matthew Stafford from 8 years ago and threw a nice touchdown pass.
Honestly, this is like 2 weeks in a row. He's looked okay. So-
yeah. But what are we doing here, Seahawks? You don't do that.
They're poorly coached. I mean, it is a young coach, so I mean, you'd think that he'd get
They're-
better, but
Idiotic. And they also had so many penalties.
yeah.
So
And-
you
Ugh.
Does anybody remember? I don't even think they do it anymore. Does anybody remember the IROC racing circuit?
No.
No.
Okay, so that it wasn't very popular. The central thesis of the IROC racing circuit was that everybody was given an identical car. So,
Okay.
like, unlike NASCAR, F1, or whatever, where you had the different teams, everybody was given the same exact car. And the idea was that would make you find out who the best pure drivers were. Not reliant on a team, not reliant on mechanics. You would find out who the best drivers were. I feel like the Seahawks are the IROC team that gets given to coaches. Here's the most average team you could possibly assemble. If you make this team win games, you must be a good coach. If you can't win games, you must be a bad coach. But that's who the Seahawks are. Fundamentally.
That's a good
Yeah.
comparison. Also, fuck
It's
Pete Carroll. I mean,
just
Always.
got to get that in there.
it's just maddening watching them play because they have talent. Like I think Kenneth Walker is a good player.
Well, they were also without Metcalf again, right?
Yeah, they don't have him, and that seems to be the thing that has messed them up.
Right, because he hurt his PP or something, right?
I guess I don't know what.
Remember when he
actually hurt.
pretended to urinate on a goalpost in the Egg Bowl?
Okay. Moving on to McConkey. The Chargers beat the Browns. I don't even think McConkey played in this game, did he? Was he hurt?
Let's check. Let's check
I
the
think
stats.
McConkey was out, wasn't
I
he?
think he was hurt, yeah.
Finger/buttocks.
I think he was out with a concussion. So what does that mean for a McConkey episode? His
Rerun.
partner helps solve the case?
No, McConkey's in a coma.
Again? He's back in a coma?
Another coma.
A second coma?
Another clip show.
It's a clip show.
Yeah.
A second clip show this season?
It was in the first season, man.
Oh,
Two
like the-
clip shows?
It's like the
Budgets
shorts
are
gag.
tight.
Yeah. Doing a clip show in the second
McConkey.
episode.
Two clip shows. Oh my God.
McConkey.
He's been knocked out again. The head is backwards. Oh, dear God.
Haven't popped a champagne cold since Bo popped his head.
I
I
just
wonder
like
what
the
Drew's
idea
analysis is going to be.
that the Raiders ballad gets shorter every time. Pretty soon it's just going to be the first like strum of guitar, and that's it. Drew, we give you the floor.
Max Crosby is good. Brock Bowers is good. I yield my time.
It's a beatdown by the Bengals. I don't know that there's much to say here. The Raiders are really bad.
I'd like to take this time to mention that the Bengals are up 14-7 in this game.
Ooh.
And it's halftime. I took Drew's time there to talk
Very
about
nice.
their game.
You yielded it first.
Dude, I just
so
I
you're
need
good.
the Jaguars and the Titans to keep winning so
Yeah.
that the Raiders can land Cam Ward. That's
I
all
read
that's
today-
left for me now.
That there's 9 teams with 2 wins right now.
Yes.
And it's just this muddled mess at like
Yes.
who gets the draft where now. But obviously that'll sort itself out. But that's 9 teams at this point.
It's a
with
lot
2
of
wins.
bad teams.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bad teams. Speaking of bad teams,
Parody.
Team's a dumpster fire, but at least that hot mess can keep you warm. Those lucky devils and comas don't have to watch this shit show anymore. We fired the corpse of Frank Reich so he can be in bed by 8. We proved the opposite of love is apathy.
but we beat the Saints. Oh, the Panthers come out with a victory. Somehow Derek Carr was back and we still won. I don't know why.
And you got a coach fired.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We got Dennis Allen fired, which I like how anytime a coach is fired, usually A block. He's so irrelevant, C block.
Yep.
Dennis Allen fired. This is not the first time Derek Carr has gotten Dennis Allen fired.
I know.
Also
It's the
true.
second time.
It's like Cody Pickett, Drew.
Yes.
Has the look of a guy who's going to get his coach fired.
Coach fired.
The greatest write-up ever of a draft profile.
The second time. Second time
Yeah.
around.
I actually
Um,
so they were talking
yeah.
about like potentially who would be the new Saints. They have like Vegas odds out already. Leading Vegas odds is Joe
Gruden?
Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, to take the Saints job because
why?
he was at LSU.
Oh yeah.
he got his start with New Orleans. He was there for 3 years. And then because of all those connections to there's other coaching members or people who now work in the front office who used to be at LSU when he was there, they think it's like going to be a easy hire for him in the offseason.
That seems like a mistake for everyone.
Very young.
Both sides.
He is very young.
What? How old is he?
I can tell you. Hold on.
Is he 30?
He's 35, so he's not that young. But
Still,
that's
I
pretty
mean,
young.
He does not seem like a leader of men. Let's just put it that way. He seems like an offensive coordinator
He's
who's in a
Saints for a
booth.
bit.
Yeah, but Sean McVay didn't seem like a leader of men until he was.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
Because he was like 16 when he got that job. He was the Joan of Arc of NFL coaches.
He can lure Joe Burrow there.
They'll get the band back
Yeah,
together.
right.
I'm just happy we won. I don't know how we won. We were winning. I was working that day, and we were winning, and I'm like, can I get back home in time
I don't know
to
what to
see
do
a
with myself.
victory?
What do I do
I don't
with
know.
my hands?
Yeah, what do you do with these hands? David Tepper just has a drink he wants to spill on someone but can't. He's like, God, I don't know what to do. Who can I be right now? Well, there's only one more winnable game for the Panthers this entire season. You can check the schedule if you want, Mike. There's one more winnable game, and it's in Germany on Sunday morning against the Giants.
Yep.
And what did Germany do to deserve this? They also get Machine Gun Kelly at halftime.
I mean, yeah, there's a couple things they did.
And okay, they've got a couple
Look,
things.
Germany. You know,
They've been on their
Yeah.
they've been on their good behavior the last few years.
Read the treaty. This was in there. So,
Ye will be forced to watch
Ye.
Machine Gun Kelly.
I can see
Thou
Eisenhower
shalt-
writing ye.
thou shall be punished in thy
Thou
ways.
shalt be punished with Machine Gun Kelly's music. Who is this? Schadenfreude. Oh, you'll see. You'll see. All right, there's one more category. It's Poochie.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Poochie. Jets beat the Texans on Thursday night because, of course, we talked about the line. This is a stupid line. The Jets favored by 1.5. What the hell? This seems like a dumb game. The Jets will win, and it was because Garrett Wilson made the most ridiculous catch since Odell Beckham.
And to defend the Texans, they were down Nico
Very
Collins and Stephon
Very,
Diggs.
very
that's-
hurt.
Yeah, right.
Just polling the room. Was Garrett Wilson in bounds?
It didn't seem like he was to me.
Me either, but they didn't. They didn't.
They
drop
gave
the,
it to him.
Yeah, they
his-
dropped the puck real quick.
His shin was in.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had catches that they've deliberated more on, like the Des Bryant catch and the Calvin Johnson catch, and several others that were disqualified. And
To be
they
fair,
just were
though,
like, shins down, we're good.
The Texans didn't deserve to win this game, so I'm fine with the Jets
right.
taking this one.
It's a
So
great catch.
one of us, I think it was Ryan, said it would be the most Jets thing ever to win this game.
Yeah, and it was. They won. Stupid Jets. Stupid Jets.
The best
Even
part
when they
is-
win, they're stupid.
the best part is they're not going anywhere, but they're going to win just enough games to screw themselves out of a quality pick where they could maybe pick up a quarterback for when Poochie leaves town.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're definitely not going to take a. Yeah, right. They're going to be well out of position to take a quarterback this year. So they're they're doing the march for Arch, baby.
With the amount of control that Poochie has now, why would he ever leave?
Yeah, right.
Keep convincing them you need to stay and you need more Randall Cobbs.
March for Arch. March for Arch.
All right, that's all the games. So it's time for segments. Greg's bets is long gone. Greg's bets is long gone.
I'm not entirely convinced he still hasn't recovered from New York Comic Con.
He might still be in New York.
Yeah.
All right, so we have broadcasting moments. Number 1, Columbia uses the Dwayne Wade
So good.
statue
Oh yeah.
So
to
good.
throw off the Yale kicker.
So good. I saw
Terrifying.
that.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Look at this guy. Oh my God.
Look at Lawrence Fishburne playing Dwayne Wade.
Moving on. Number 2, a Syracuse touchdown. We were live in living color at the
We
Syracuse game
were, as a matter of fact.
for a victory.
How were
a
the
victory.
hashtags? How were the hash marks in that game?
Great hashtags.
Questionable.
They're very concerning.
Very concerning hash marks. Oh God! If I have to hear more about hash marks, I might just not watch football again.
Admittedly, you were subjected to most of
by
it.
the way? This fan, was he hammered? or
Oh, he
he
was
just-
definitely drunk. Yes,
All right,
yes.
that's fair. That's
He said to me at one point, "The last time Virginia Tech was here, I was in the building." I'm like, "Haven't they played for several years?"
Yeah, they've been in the same conference
Yeah.
for a while, bro. They
Yeah.
visit your stadium literally every
I
other
would
day.
have turned to him like, "What? Are you
Yeah.
fucking kidding? Tell me that story again. That's the most interesting story ever."
Because they showed like a highlight of Donovan McNabb beating Virginia Tech, and
Virginia
he
Tech.
was
Well,
at
and-
that game.
That was back when it meant something.
Oh God! Everything means everything. They're going to the championship. True. All right.
great.
This is just the backwards hurdle. The spin move by Barkley to.
My God.
And not for nothing, those Eagles uniforms are awesome. I love
did they
God.
ever get rid of them?
Cunningham era Eagles
Hell
uniforms.
Yeah.
Those are great.
I don't know. He got tested right after the game. Drug tested immediately after the game. Apparently.
Oh, random.
Let's take a look at the Mark Commanders. This guy. This guy in an Art Monk jersey falling down.
That man
Thankfully-
is in like 3 Art Monk jerseys.
Yes, right.
Thankfully, he
All of
didn't.
which have been stitched together to make one.
It's a really good thing that there's a railing there. So let's
Oh my
just watch
God.
him again.
I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that. Holy shit.
Talking shit about the Giants, and then oh boy, oh my God, down he goes.
I think his
Oh,
friend pushed him.
There's a guy in a
man.
Josh Norman jersey over here as well.
Oof,
If you didn't
God.
see him, I laughed at this when Arizona closed the roof of the stadium during the game because of hail. It
That'll
takes about a half an hour to close it, but let's start early. We don't need this precipitation on the field. All right, this play. This is why the Bears suck.
Yeah, they do.
Per Elias Stat Bureau, this is the longest rushing touchdown ever given up in the last 20 seconds of a first half since 1970 merger. It's very, very hard to give up this touchdown by Benjamin Solak, who I like a lot. This is the Cardinals scoring a long ass touchdown with no time left at
Did anybody
halftime.
even touch him?
No, what are the
Nope.
Bears even doing?
They
It's
don't
not. It's not Connor either. It's the backup. Look at this. It's like a 60-yard run.
They're not. It looks like the Bears are in slow motion.
Yes. Oh, where's Mike Brown when you need him?
Oh,
All
yeah,
right,
this is great.
moving on to this celebration. What is going
Yeah, I
on
don't
with
get
this?
what's going on with that.
Both of these guys played on USC, and they both did this touchdown celebration.
That looks like a great way to break your neck.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe I'm just too
Hard
old.
pass.
But
No thanks. No thanks. All right, this is fun. Matt Eberflus's last 14 wins as a head coach. Ready? Trey Lance and a monsoon. Davis Mills. Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi in the same game. Sam Howell, my guy. Brian Hoyer. Bryce Young. Josh Dobbs. Jared Goff in the cold. Kyler Murray. Desmond Ritter. Will Levis. Rams without Cooper Kupp or Puka. Andy Dalton and Trevor Lawrence. Those are the last 14 wins by Matt Eberflus.
that sounds
Okay.
about right.
Can't control who's on your schedule? Question mark.
You can't. You win is a win is a win, as we say.
Yes.
Okay, it is time for the Stripe Spiral. We have playoffs.
We do. So to recap what we've missed, there's still only one remaining. Only the Kent State Golden Flashes have not won a game. They are now 0-9 after losing in the midweek of this week. And there are only 5 undefeated teams left in the country out of 134.
Including Mark's Army.
I'm gonna
Black
say
Knights.
including Mark's Army because Liberty lost again, but Mark never cared about Liberty.
No,
he jumped
fuck those
bandwagons to Iowa State,
he
who
left
also
them.
subsequently lost. So Mark never cared about Iowa State either.
Always Army. Come on.
Did you briefly make a run to Pitt before they also lost? to
Nobody
SMU.
associated with Nathan Peterman is going to have my love.
Also, other shout outs from last week, only because we shout them out every time they do something good. Louisville, the House of Brahm, made Clemson shut up, beat them by 2 scores.
Wow.
Maybe you'll bring some NIL people in now. Huh?
Yeah, maybe you'll look at the
Maybe
portal
you'll
now.
transfer portal it.
Where's
Yeah,
your
but-
Messiah now? Do you?
By the way, did you see the story that Dabo couldn't vote on Tuesday?
No.
So Dabo went to vote at his local precinct, and his son, who is also named William Sweeney, had already voted, and they thought it was him, so they told him he couldn't vote. He had to get that all straightened out. Yeah, Kansas State lost to Houston. Texas A&M loses a stunner to South Carolina. By the way, don't sleep on South Carolina. They're not great, but they'll beat you if you blink. They've done it for years now.
I saw a game there at that
$8.
stadium. That's a fun stadium to be at.
Oh, a sandstorm and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, Beamer ball's a real thing down there.
Who's coach in South Carolina? Is it still Muschamp?
No, Shane Beamer.
Shane Beamer. Okay.
Shane Beamer. And Ohio State beat Penn State in the most boring game between two allegedly good teams ever. If you're looking forward to this weekend, there is essentially what amounts to what people are calling a de facto elimination game when LSU plays Alabama on Saturday. Because the loser of that game will essentially have 3 losses, and that'll be it. Georgia plays Ole Miss. That's a good game to look forward to. Like I said, the Golden Flash has already lost. Not many other matchups that are ranked this weekend. But the bigger news, obviously, in college football is the announcement of the first playoff rankings, which will mean nothing come the announcement of the second playoff rankings. But it's a fun thing to speculate about.
It's fun to argue about.
Everybody in the country who's not in the Big Ten and not Boise State is mad at the playoff rankings presently. Most notably Army, who probably feels like the committee just decided to kick them in the dick and cursorily rank them at 25.
They're always trying to take down Army. I'm fucking pissed, all right? We're not going to...
1775, damn it.
God damn it. Fucking people holding us down.
So Army, despite being one of only 5 undefeated teams left in the country, barely cracks the rankings, slips in at 25, which felt like we should probably include Army in the rankings more than anything else. They are ranked way below Boise State, who would be the group of 5 representative right now, despite the fact that their best game was a game they lost in a close one to Oregon, which the committee seems to love. In the meantime, BYU in probably the worst possible spot because they are undefeated, leading the Big 12, and they're in the 4 spot, which means if they lose 1 game, there's the distinct possibility, or God forbid if they lose 2 games, there's the distinct possibility, and we talked about this before, that the Big 12 champion might end up out, which would put Boise State or Army. If Army runs the table, they've got to be ahead of Boise State because they would have beaten Notre Dame at that point.
Yeah, when
they have
run
to
the table.
And I think I think that's kind of counting. That's priced in with Army, and it shouldn't be. Like, everybody's kind of assuming they're going to get their doors blown off by Notre Dame. But listen, their quarterback is really good. He runs that option like a buzzsaw. And, oh, by the way, this is not a small thing, I don't think. Army and Navy, when they played, will be the only 2 teams that Notre Dame sees all year that take snaps under center. They're probably the only 2 teams left in the country that take snaps under center. Them and maybe Air Force. So that's where we're at. Like, the committee loves the Big Ten. Ohio State's in the 5th position. Obviously, Oregon's number 1. God, Oregon's in the Big Ten now. Oregon's number 1, and then you get into your Georgias and your other teams after that. But it was a great ranking for the Big Ten. It was kind of a ranking for everybody else who wasn't Boise State. Much still to be done.
Indiana gets screwed?
No, they ended up 8, considering that their strength of schedule is like 110th in the country. And listen, I'm not knocking Indiana. They've beaten everybody who's in front of them. If, God forbid, if they beat Ohio State, which isn't impossible, that probably would be a shoo-in for them to lock their place in a top 4 seed, because they would be, I don't know, not to say that they would summarily win the Big Ten, because they'd probably have a rematch. Well, they'd have to play Oregon. But no, I think Indiana was treated very well by the committee, considering that they haven't beaten anybody of record really to date.
Okay. Real quick, the Bengals are now up 21-7 halfway through the 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Another Joe Burrow touchdown.
That's
a nice win if they can pull this off.
Like, everyone's talking about how the Bengals are against, back against the wall, which they are, especially, with the AFC, I think having 5 teams that'll definitely make it, and then the other two up for grabs. They definitely needed this win, but I mean, the Ravens went from the number 2 seed to maybe not winning this division.
Don't the Ravens tease us with this every year,
do.
though?
Yes, they do.
Like, they always have a game or two where you're like,
Yeah.
And the Bengals play them tough every year. I think,
Right.
so.
Division games are wacky as shit.
And I know, listen, we talked about this a few weeks ago. At some point, you have to stop thinking about what a team should be, and you have to start looking at what they are.
Yep.
But the Bengals still have this in them. They're not a good team, but they're capable of this on the right night.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, if you're the Ravens, you do not want to see the Bengals in the playoffs. If that's your first round matchup, that is a nightmare.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nobody ever wants to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs. He's a different animal, man.
Burrow, I think, really has a lot of talent. And I think it's almost slightly unfortunate he ended up in Cincinnati.
Of course it is.
Well, I mean, but again, like, Cincinnati's another one of those franchises that just seemingly can never get fully out of its own way. Like, it's always going to do like 85. You know what it is? It's the person on the group project who does just enough work to get by.
Yes.
And it gets carried by, like, the best kid in the class. And
don't talk about my World Lit class, okay?
I wasn't in that class with you. That was Greg.
That was Greg. Greg carried me in that one.
It's just it's unfortunate because I think Burrow, like, he seems like a genuine dude.
Yeah, he does. He's
like
a very earnest guy. He's not a bullshitter.
Like he really wants to make it work, and it seems like he really does have a lot of talent. But it's Cincinnati. It's just one of those franchises you look at and you go, they just can't get it right.
Have any of you ever had Skyline chili? I've heard it's good.
No, I've heard it's excellent.
Never had it either.
Speaking of things you can't,
so it isn't real.
Oh, speaking of things you can't get right, it's football FUBAR time.
It sure is. It sure is. And so this week we saw DeAndre Hopkins go off against the Bucs, dropping 2 touchdowns against them and giving the Kansas City Chiefs a true number 1 receiver headed into the second part of the season. But I think it's time then we induct the man who was the reason the Chiefs needed to go out and find a number 1 wide receiver in the first place.
The terrorist?
Make sure those seatbelts are securely fashioned, my friends. We're not talking about the terrorist. We're going to induct Rashee Rice into football FUBAR today, along with a bonus family member going into football FUBAR. So,
Stephon Marbury's cousin was nobody, Mark. Nobody.
Well, I'm an Eskimo cousin to him now. So,
what?
Oh, there's so many layers to that story that we can't go into.
No, not on the air.
What?
You are going to have to explain that off air, Mark.
I will. All right. So Rashee Rice, let me be professional here, gentlemen. Rashee Rice was drafted in the second round of the 2023 NFL Draft. They're putting up nearly 1,300 yards his senior year at SMU. Rashee instantly made an impact for the Chiefs last year, finally giving them a wide receiver after years of leaning on a Kelsey to move the chains. He finished a regular season last year with 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. And put up excellent numbers in the playoffs, 26 receptions, 288 yards, and a touchdown. So the Chiefs, naturally, were expecting big things from Rice this year until March 30th, 2024, when Rice reminded everyone just how much of a dumbass he is. Rice was caught racing his Lamborghini with 4 other vehicles down a very busy Dallas highway, which resulted in a car crash that left several people injured at the scene of the crime. Now, after the crash, Rice apparently took stock of the situation and decided that active fleeing would be his best logical choice. And see, the reason was because Rice had weed in the car. Okay. And that's still illegal in Texas. And he thought that would end his career. That weed, by the way, under 11 grams. That shit is a misdemeanor in even the harshest state. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking that he should leave the scene of a crime like this. But he yelled at the other drivers to get the fuck out of there because they were all like racing together. They all left. They all ran in random directions. And the reason we know this is because the video is out. That was by a lamppost or something up high, right? And you just see all 4 split off like a Benny Hill video where they all just go in a different direction running away from this smoking mass of cars. It's amazing to watch. Rice was caught because he left his ID in the car. And 2 of the other cars involved were also registered to him. He initially made an excuse for why these cars, all like 3 cars were there, but he wasn't involved until they showed him the video. And then he realized he fucked up. Only at that point did he admit guilt. and his punishment is actually still pending. They don't really legally know what they're going to give him, but obviously something's going to happen to him. Rice wasn't done, though, because barely a month and a half later, after his hit-and-run incident, he punched a photographer at a nightclub who had the audacity to ask him about the incident. So, somebody you think should probably sit him down, give him a stern talking to, maybe his mom or something like that. Wouldn't help because his mom was arrested 2 months later for stealing Amazon packages from her neighbors. Now, how do we know it was Rashee Rice's mom? Because she wore a jersey that said Rashee's mom on the back when she was stealing packages. So this family in videotapes.
That could be any Rasheed's mom. Come on, Mark.
So Rice ended up getting hurt this year, as we all know. Likely will serve a suspension when he does get back, which probably won't be until next year. I don't think he's going to come back this year. So until then, though, he can take solace that him and his mom are now members of Football Fubar.
Xbox! You think you can tell us what to do? Yeah. You think you can tell us what to win? You think you better? Yeah. Well, you better get ready to bow to the master.
Okay, it's time for a sad boy boat. But first, Mike's dip of the week.
My dip of the week is Hashmark guy from the Syracuse football game that we all went to.
You didn't have to sit next to him, Mike.
I didn't because I made the right decision.
Just kept making eyes at me like, he's doing it
It's like a
again.
waitress, right, buddy?
That's right. That's right.
Speaking of IPA, and of course, knowing the answer to all of Syracuse's offensive and defensive problems, Hashmark guy is my dip of the week because no matter what he said, the opposite would occur. And surprise, surprise, that's how Syracuse ended up winning the game.
Oh my God! That brings
also. Oh, hold on, I'm not done.
Oh,
also had a tag attached to his shirt that he bought that day, apparently, and it looked like he was going to return it on his way out the door.
which means that he would have no shirt the rest of the day.
There's no way that man was not a Bills fan and ran Willis McGahee out of town. That's
Oh my God. That Venn diagram is definitely.
Yes.
It is a one concentric circle.
Yes.
Oh
Fred
boy.
Jackson was a Hall of Famer, Mark.
Yes. he
Fred
sure
Jackson.
was. The conductor.
That puts me on the sad boy boat, but who else goes on the sad boy boat this week? Because I had to sit next to that guy. Sad
Zach
boy
Prescott.
boat. Who you got?
Dennis Allen.
Yes.
Jerry Jones.
Yes.
He's moved from dip of the week to the sad boy boat.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah.
All right, that's two. Got anybody else? Who else is on the sad boy boat?
Tua is pretty sad. He just can't win.
Yeah.
Oh, he's angry.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Salty
right.
Tua.
Yeah.
Salty Tua.
Salty tuna.
Delicious.
What about just the Saints in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Started
the-
2-0.
Derek
Yeah.
Carr.
That
Derek
seems
Carr?
like a lifetime ago. Holy shit. Yeah, Derek Carr.
Remember when we talked about the Saints being good?
Yep.
How
We
do you-
did.
The best part we talked about earlier, Derek Carr has to live with the fact that he's got the same guy fired twice.
Wow.
Like, I would feel
Did
bad.
he send him like a fruit basket?
Yeah, like
I'm
if somebody
sorry,
came up
bud.
to me and said we had to fire another like somebody in the company because of you, I'd be like, we're gonna keep you for some reason. We're gonna fire this guy. I'm like, oh, I didn't mean that. And if I did it
Yeah.
twice to the same guy, I would feel real shit.
All right. Game balls. Let's go to the other side of the coin. Give me a game ball, Mark.
Saquon Barkley for fucking jumping over that guy. That was
Yeah.
amazing. That's one of the best
Yeah.
football plays I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty awesome. Mike, you got a game ball?
I don't.
Okay,
I
Drew.
don't. Got nothing.
I as mentioned, I went to Guar last night. There was a woman attending the Guar show.
Whoa, stop
Where-
right there. That's news in itself.
There was a woman attending the Guar show wearing a full niqab. Respect. Game ball.
Okay.
Did
Wow.
they play Saddam Agogo?
They did, as
Okay.
a matter of fact.
Oh, good. I've only been to 3, but they've been fun. The 3 Guar concerts, they were all fun.
Game ball to Gave them all to Marshawn Lattimore, getting out of the dumpster fire and going to the Commanders. Well done on you.
Good answer. Good answer.
Well done on you to go to the right side of the world. Who knew the Commanders would be the saviors for everyone? We're at that point.
Think if we had a time machine and went back like just 4 or 5 years and said to everybody, guys, in a few years, everyone's going to want to play for Washington.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Dan Snyder will have nothing to do with it.
They'd be like, the Redskins? We're like,
No.
Oh,
Funny you
now
mentioned that.
that.
yeah, right.
All right, plug time. Bloody good music. What do we got this week?
Bloody good music, Chris, with another excellent piece. This one tying together The Offspring, Weezer, and ECW.
Whoa, holy shit.
All right.
EC dub. EC
Sound
dub.
like this.
ECW.
I don't know why, but okay. I don't know why they go together.
Read it, it'll make sense.
All right, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Plug TGIF. We got the Halloween episode. We are going to be doing the Gangs episode very soon.
Pretty soon. Yeah, pretty
Well,
soon.
yeah, maybe next week. I don't know.
Yeah.
We gotta look at the schedule. Maybe next week. Mike says he has a plug.
I got a student of the week.
Oh, you got a student of the week. Okay.
This week, I tip my hat to you, kid vaping in the bathroom at 7:45. So we have to go outside of the building and stand outside for a half an hour. At least it's a beautiful morning, you absolute jackass.
7:45 in the morning.
School hadn't even started. Literally, the beginning bell hadn't rung. We hadn't even gotten to class yet, and we're already outside.
Did I ever tell you the story when I was in junior high? I swear to God, this is true. There was a kid who, I don't know, didn't want to take a test or whatever was coming up, and he called in a bomb threat to the school from the payphone outside the main office. Didn't take long to solve that, but we all had to go over to Mark's junior high and hang out in the auditorium for a while.
I walked by the auditorium and I saw you, and I was just like, what the fuck is Drew doing here?
Huh?
Yeah.
Bomb
It was
threat.
a weird little guest appearance in my closed world when I was in middle school. It's like, oh, Drew's here now.
Wow.
One day only.
Yep.
All right, we're done. We will see you next week. We got the Orton line. Mike's really happy about it. You know, he's really excited.
Not my Orton line.
It's a friend to all children. It's like Gamera.
We'll see him again at the end of the year.
Ah,
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Peace out.